Welcome back to the show. In our second segment, we'll be taking a look at the study option that Sri Lankan students may not be too familiar with, and that is the option of starting your studies at an American community college. With advantages like smaller classes, more one-on-one attention, and affordable fees, community colleges can be a great way for some students to begin their American education. Here once again is Madhushka Balasuriya.
In the United States, community colleges make up a significant part of higher education. Also known as two-year colleges, these institutions of higher learning cater to a wider cross-section of society than traditional universities.
Community colleges are uniquely American. Places where anyone who walks through the door is one step closer to realizing the American dream. These schools are flexible and innovative. For that reason, countries around the world are looking at community colleges as a model to increase workforce preparedness and college graduation among their own citizens.
Just like universities, there are hundreds of community colleges throughout the United States. And according to the American Association of Community Colleges, nearly half of all undergraduate students in the country attend community colleges. US President Barack Obama highlighted the importance of these institutions to the American economy when he held the first ever White House Summit on community colleges in 2010.
These are places where young people can continue their education without taking on a lot of debt. These are places where workers can gain new skills to move up in their careers. These are places where anyone with a desire to learn and to grow can take a chance on a brighter future for themselves and their families, whether that's a single mom or a returning soldier or an aspiring entrepreneur.
To get a better idea of the kinds of benefits community colleges could offer international students, we spoke with a professor from the Borough of Manhattan Community College in the heart of New York City. Professor Francesco Crocco is an assistant professor in English.
What about studying in a community college? You've been a professor there, you work with a lot of students there, of course you've obviously had experience with other universities. Can you describe maybe some of the benefits and some of the differences in if you were to study at a university or if you were to start out at a community college and then proceed to a university?
There are some pretty big differences. One of the differences that I've noticed, and I've worked at four-year schools, versus community colleges. One of the differences is class size. The sizes of the classes tend to be smaller at community colleges. We don't have lecture courses, with 100 plus students. There's more one-to-one mentoring going on, more support services for students. Also, another major difference is that the community colleges offer terminal two-year degrees. So that if a student is, say, in the workforce or looking to get into the workforce quickly because they're supporting themselves or their family, they have the opportunity to pursue degrees that will enter them into a position within 2 years, such as nursing, computer information systems, business management, health information technology. At my institution, we just approved a new degree in GIS, and there are other degrees, of course, that are applied science degrees. We also have the traditional associate's degree, so that if a student wants to pursue a four-year baccalaureate degree, they can take their first 2 years at a community college and then transfer into one of the four-year colleges in the system or to another four-year college somewhere else.
Professor Crocco's college, also known as BMCC for short, has a student population of nearly 25,000 with students from approximately 160 different countries. The Institute of International Education has ranked BMCC 5th in the United States for the highest number of international students at a community college. Professor Crocco says it is the special attention that is available at community colleges that make it possible for international students to excel. BMCC offers remedial courses and services for students in basic reading and writing, which could be particularly useful for foreign students.
Can you talk also about the English literacy and significance of that? Because international students obviously have various degrees of, capabilities in English. How significant is that to successful, academic life at a community college? And do you have English services to improve international students' English skills?
Absolutely. International students have a variety of services available to them. We have a basic writing lab. We have a math lab. We have counseling and advisement services, and then of course faculty at community colleges are encouraged to give one-on-one support to their students.
Like many other community colleges, BMCC offers 2-year degrees in a variety of subject areas that range from business management and communication studies to computer science and biotechnology. For many international students who aspire for higher degrees, such as a master's or a doctorate, a community college education is often just the first step, but a much more affordable one. BMCC student Hamisu Samari is probably the best example of what is possible. Originally from the poverty-stricken African nation of Togo, Samari came to America through the green card lottery. Even with limited English knowledge, he enrolled at BMCC while earning money for college by selling shoes and bus tour tickets in New York City. But that was only the beginning. Later, Samari got his bachelor's degree at the American University in Washington, D.C. and went on to do his master's degree at the prestigious Harvard Kennedy School.
Now, as you can understand, most people who would invest in coming to the United States to study for a number of years obviously would want to go on to further degrees, not just an associate degree that are offered degrees that are offered at the community college. They want to go on to a bachelor's, master's, even PhD level. Can you talk about the career path? Have you had many students like that who start with an associate degree at a college like yours and then go on to other degrees later on?
Yes, absolutely. It's very common. So community colleges are different from four-year schools in that we offer terminal degrees in applied science, things like a nursing program, CIS program. But we also offer transfer programs, 2-year degrees that are intended to transfer into 4-year programs so that students can seamlessly move from an associate's to a bachelor's. I've definitely seen and known of students who have moved on to a master's and even a PhD. In fact, some of the faculty at the community college where I work at BMCC actually began there as students.
While criteria will vary from one institution to another, the application process for community colleges is similar to universities. International students must provide school transcripts, TOEFL results, and financial statements at a minimum. Students should check the websites for more information.
Before we go tonight, here's a look at some advice from a different perspective. Rebecca Westphal was the co-director of the International Admissions Office at the prominent Yale University. Here she talks about what admissions officers look for in applications.
So the first thing when we look at an application, we're always going to look at the academics first. And sort of everything else comes one step behind that. So academically, students from the UK should really be predicted A's at A levels, or mostly 6s and 7s in IB. It's important for us that we see 2 teacher recommendations, that extracurriculars are detailed in the application, the essays are very important. The way in which we look at an application is very holistic, and so all of the pieces are looked at together. There is an interview process as well. So, but the most important thing that we're always going to look at first is the transcript and record of grades at school.